Oklahoma legislative districts still up for grabs. Lawmakers weigh a bill that would allow homeschoolers to participate in public school extracurricular activities. And Governor Stitt proposes a car tag compact with the Cherokee Nation. We'll have details coming up on the KGOU AM NewsBrief for Wednesday, October 2nd. I'm Nick Daniels. In addition to electing their president and congressional members, many Oklahoma voters will choose their representatives in the state legislature. State Capitol reporter Lionel Ramos tells us there are dozens of contested House and Senate districts this November.
When the election season began in April, all of Oklahoma's 101 House districts and 26 of the state Senate districts were up for grabs. Almost half of the races were won automatically by uncontested candidates. Others were settled in the primaries. 37 remained to be decided by voters in November. There are 12 races left in the Senate and 25 in the House. Voters replaced incumbents in top Republican leadership positions in both chambers during the primary elections, in some cases with candidates touting more right-leaning platforms than their established party members. I'm Lionel Ramos.
And the last day to register to vote is October 11th. For help with registering and a map showing candidates running in each of the legislative districts contested in November, visit kgou.org. State lawmakers are considering a policy to allow homeschooled students to participate in public school extracurricular activities. State Impact's Beth Wallace reports the legislators met Tuesday for an interim study to hash out the merits of the proposal.
Bartlesville Republican Representative John Kane held the study over what's called the Tim Tebow Bill, named after the professional athlete who was homeschooled but played football at a public high school. Lawmakers had two main concerns. Would it be fair for homeschooled students to participate in activities that require public school students to maintain weekly academic eligibility? And how would schools verify academic equivalency for homeschool curriculum? Here's Tecumseh Republican Representative Danny Sterling, who worked as a teacher and principal for 40 years.
I guess it'd be very hard for me to support something like this till I see some equality across the board in that respect. Like say, I'm an educator for decades, and just be very transparent, see the fairness in that all. I'm sorry.
More than 20 states have passed a version of the law. It remains to be seen whether Oklahoma will consider it next spring. For State Impact, I'm Beth Wallace.
A state auditor and inspector's report shows hundreds of thousands of dollars were misappropriated in the town of Red Rock. OPMX's Anna Pope reports the auditor says there's been an uptick in forensic audit requests for small towns.
Fewer than 300 people live in Red Rock in Noble County. From the beginning of 2019 to mid-2024, the state auditor and inspector's office found about $336,000 was misappropriated from the town and the Public Works Authority. State auditor and inspector Cindy Bird says for a small town like Red Rock, the impact of losing the funds can be felt for years.
A lot of our small cities and towns are struggling for revenue streams to just keep basic functions in operation. And whenever you have such a large misappropriation of funds as this, it could take a decade for this small town to get back on its feet.
Among the findings, the audit shows the town's former clerk and treasurer misappropriated more than $241,000, and the clerk's spouse also received unlawful payments. Bird found the town's board members were also overpaid, and another clerk misappropriated funds. I'm Anna Pope.
There's a new deal on the table for an ongoing car tag compact negotiation between Oklahoma and the Cherokee Nation. OPMX's Katie Hallam has details.
Governor Kevin Stitt is offering two separate compacts for the Cherokee Nation for both on- and off-reservation individuals. That's different from what he agreed to with the Chickasaw and Choctaw Nations. Those two tribes have the same deal for all of their citizens in the state. The existing compact will remain in effect for individuals living within the Cherokee Reservation, and as a condition, the governor's office asks the boundaries of the land be strictly adhered to. For those living off-reservation, tag revenue would be split, with 60% going toward the state. Drivers living outside tribal lands will still be able to keep their Cherokee plates and acquire tags from a Cherokee tag office. I'm Katie Hallam.
Now, as for the over $8 million in plate pay tolls that Stitt has harped on, if the agreement is signed, the Cherokee Nation would only need to pay half of what is owed. Both sides have expressed optimism at the evolution of the negotiations. You'll find more news at our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU PM NewsBrief podcast.
The candidates for November are set.
I know Donald
Donald Trump's type.
Between now and Election Day,
we are not going back.
A campaign season unfolding faster.
Kamala Harris is not getting a promotion
Than any in recent history.
Make America great again.
Follow it all with new episodes every weekday on the NPR Politics Podcast.